Long ago, in a distant land, there lived a young warrior. From a young age, he had dreamed of becoming the greatest fighter in the land, and he had trained tirelessly every day to make that dream a reality. The young warrior was strong and agile, but he still found himself struggling in battle. His opponents seemed to always be one step ahead of him. They were always quicker and more skilled than he was. No matter how hard he trained, he could not seem to match his opponent's skill. One day, as he was training in the forest, the young warrior heard the sound of battle in the distance. He followed the sound until he came across a clearing where two warriors were locked in combat. One warrior was a young man, but he noticed that the other was an old, stoic warrior with a long white beard. He witnessed as the old warrior moved effortlessly, dodging and weaving with graceful movements that betrayed his age. The young warrior was fascinated by the old warrior's skill, and he approached him after the old warrior won the battle. "That was amazing," the young warrior exclaimed. "How did you become so skilled in combat?" The old warrior smiled and replied, "I have spent a lifetime training my mind as much as my body. Victory is not just about physical strength. Mental discipline and perseverance are just as important. If you truly want to become the greatest warrior in the land, you must follow the warrior's path." Intrigued, the young warrior asked, "What is the warrior's path?" "The warrior's path is not an easy one," the old warrior said. "It requires discipline, dedication, and a willingness to face your own weaknesses. But if you are willing to pay its price, victory will be yours." From that day on, the young warrior studied the ways of the warrior's path. He learned to meditate, to focus his mind, and he practiced his techniques with greater focus and dedication than ever before. Slowly but surely, the young warrior began to see improvements in his skill. He was no longer easily defeated, and he began to win more and more battles. But he knew that he still had a long way to go if he wanted to achieve his dream. As time went by, the young warrior became a very skilled and formidable fighter. He had won many battles, but he knew that there was always more to learn. He never forgot the lessons he had learned from the old warrior, and he continued to follow the warrior's path. One day, he received an invitation to compete in a tournament of the greatest fighters from lands both near and far. The young warrior accepted the invitation, knowing that this would be his chance to prove himself once and for all. The day of the tournament arrived, and he stepped onto the field of battle. His opponents were fierce, but the young warrior fought with a calm and focused mind, using the techniques he had learned on the warrior's path. He defeated every opponent that stood in his way. As the crowd cheered his name, he felt a sense of pride and accomplishment that he had never felt before. And in that moment, he knew that he had truly followed the warrior's path, and that he had become the greatest fighter in the land. The lesson we can learn from this story is that true success comes not just from talent or natural ability, but also from developing discipline and having persistence. We need to remember that it takes time and effort to achieve our goals. By developing a mindset of determination and focus, we can overcome obstacles and achieve success in both our personal and professional lives. This story reminds us that success is not just about being naturally gifted, but also about putting in the hard work necessary to succeed. Thank you for watching. For more inspiring stories like this, please like and subscribe.